I tried to make a really cool like card effect kind of thing with the camera. Didn't work. So let's just scrap that. So I had this idea that today I could, well, not just today, but for the next few days, I could show you various card games with the help of one card deck. I need to Google the English word for Jossen. Hold on. Okay, so on the internet they also call it to play Joss. Let's just say that. I hope you're familiar with the card deck. In Switzerland, kind of everybody has one of these at home. I think they're the same cards you play poker with, but they start at a 6 and they don't have a joker. So where I'm filming this, there's this little hole and I just saw an ant crawl in. That's creepy. I hope I don't have an ant farm down there. I should ask my parents about that. For now, let's forget about the ants. I'll be terrified about that later. So I thought I could show you a few different games, 5 different games you can play with one specific card deck, with this one. Today we're going to start with Schmu. There are different names for it, but I'll explain how it works. It's also probably the easiest game because I think you can also play those with a normal card deck, like the poker ones or the blackjack ones with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it starts at 6 that I already mentioned. And for this game, the colors aren't important. So by colors, I mean like the different shapes, like the hearts and, you know. What you do is you hand out all cards to the players, of course mix them before, and you hand out the entire deck to the players so everybody gets equal amounts of cards and in the end there are no cards left. And then the youngest starts, or the oldest, you can choose in the end, lays their lowest possible card, like for instance a 7, and lays it in the middle. Then the aim is, regardless of color, the next person that's anti-clockwise lays down a higher card, but they lay it down covered like this. So imagine this is the table and this is what you see. And then you say, for instance, the first card was the 7, so now I say 8 because you laid an 8 upside down. And then the next person lies another card. It doesn't necessarily have to be an 8, it could also be a 9, it just has to be higher and not equal but higher. Yeah, and then it goes on and on and on until you get to the highest number, which in this case is the ace. And then you start again with your lowest card, right? So essentially that's the easy thing, right? But because the cards aren't distributed evenly, you have, for example, it's the king. So somebody laid the king, right? So you have to lay an ace. Now the likelihood of you having an ace isn't very high because there are only 4 in the whole game. That's why it's called Schmu. Other people also call it lying because essentially when you cover up the cards, like when you put them upside down, you don't have to lie the correct card. So you can say, oh, it's an ace, but it doesn't actually have to be an ace. In theory, you can lie, right? But the tricky bit is if somebody else suspects that you are lying, they can pick up your card, they can say you're lying, and pick up your card. You say, this is the ace. Pretend this is the table. Ace. And then the other person says, I don't believe that this is the ace. And then they turn around and they see you lied. So you have to take the entire pile to you. If you laid the truth and for instance, you did lay the ace, but the other person still thinks you're lying, they have to take the entire pile. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'll try to demonstrate a kind of test round. Let's see if this works. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not going to put out all cards, but let's put 5 cards here and 5 cards here. So let's pretend this is person A and this is person B. You don't see, in the real game, you don't see the other person's cards, but I'm just doing this to demonstrate. So let's say this person starts. They say 6. Now the other person happens to have a 7. And because you usually, unless you have some sort of special tactic, you're not planning on lying. So they take the 7 and they say 7. Now this person looks and says 8. They have an 8. Now as you can see, this person already only has 2 options left. So you say 9. Queen. And now for instance, this person doesn't have any cards left that are higher or above that. So what they need to do is they need to pretend that this is either an ace or a king. So they say king. Now, if this person believes them, they just keep on playing because, yeah, if they don't know they're lying, they just keep on playing. And this person says ace, right? But if it was otherwise, if this person didn't believe that this was a king, they could take this card out and say, I don't believe you. And now all of these cards need to go to this person. And the aim of the game is to get rid of all of your cards. I hope this gave you a new card game, something you can play with your family or friends. I'll try to do the other 4 in the next few days. I don't know if I can do it tomorrow, because tomorrow Taylor Swift's new album is coming out, and I'll be very invested in that. I'll also check out that ant problem now, because it's kind of worrying me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I may have showed you a new game. So see you next time. Bye!